Hello and welcome back to this video. This is going to be on note editing. This is going to be a two-parter. Straight away I've changed to a piano setting and I've already entered some notes. We haven't talked about triplets, or as they're sometimes called tuplets. So I click on the note. Now I want to make it into 3 quarter note triplets. So I need to change the value to a quarter note. And there's a couple of options on how you can do it. You can go up here and click on triplet on that pull down menu and then add in the next note. So type a B flat or a B on the computer keyboard and we have our triplet. It puts the bracket in for you. I'll come over here and show you some eighth note triplets. So I selected the measure, press the 3 key, press the note or the letter B, Control 3 will also make it into a triplet. And notice no bracket there. Let's say we want, instead of a triplet, we want a 5. So we do an eighth note and we do 5 of them. C, D, B, A, G. And there we've got our 5. Select the measure, hit backspace, and it gets rid of it. So looking at the original source to the music, select the section you want, and you can do repeat here, or you can press the R key. The original music is up a 5th from this. So while the music is highlighted, I use my arrow keys. And sure enough, that puts everything right except for one note. The original source is not a D here, it's an E flat. So we select the single note and press the up arrow, and we've got the E flat. And looking at the original source, it looks like this section repeats. But we don't want this note here to be repeated. So we select this and go to here, shift click, and it looks like the bass part also repeats. So we shift click on that note, press the R key. I didn't want that note, I only want this note. We have to go back and shift click there. And then right here, a couple of ways to do this. We can go to the Home tab and do copy, and then highlight right here and do paste, and we get what we want. Of course, it wiped out that note, which we didn't want. The other option, I did Control Z there to undelete. I have to go back and highlight everything again. I just want it to there. And depending on how you have your options set up, in my case I have a scroll wheel. If you press the scroll wheel down, it copies it. And no matter what you do in this case, you're going to lose that note. So you have to remember that and put it back. And that's a very easy way to be entering, especially if you're transcribing music, to enter material that way. You notice there's a number of spots where we have voices. Like here we have 2 voices. Let's say for some reason when you were entering, you entered it this way, where you put the C's in voice 2 and the A was in voice 1. That doesn't look right. The stems are all messed up, it just doesn't look good. So up here in the voices, you have an option where you can swap it. And now just press swap, and it's back to as it should be. Let's say for some reason we wanted all of these bottom notes to be in voice 2. Go to the filters in the Home tab, select the bottom note, and we want the bottom note, not single notes. Those are all selected. Go back to the note input, select voice 2, and to make it interesting, we'll change this value to a dotted half note. So we hit the 5 key on the keypad, which if you're looking at the bottom right, you can see me changing it there. And then a dot, and we have it looking a little more interesting. Let's say we want to change this one back to voice 1. You can go up to voice and select 1. There's also a shortcut key. If you type alternate 1, it changes it. Likewise, any highlighted note, alternate 1, voice 1, alternate 2, It's voice 2, alternate 3, alternate 4. And you'll notice when you did 3 and 4, you got all these rests in there because it wants to fill the whole measure. If you don't want the rest to show, you can go and select the rest. You can control click on the rest. And sometimes these are hard to get. Yep, I got the D instead, so I'll deselect that by control clicking again. So now I have most of the rest selected, and I'll type Control Shift H, and they're hidden. I clicked on the rest. You press the left arrow, and it highlights the half note rest in voice 3. And I press Control H, and it's gone. I'm going to mess up another measure, so to speak. Let's do alternate 3 on that note. When we go to the home key, we can filter on voices. Voice 3, and you can see the shortcut there. So now we have all of voice 3 in here, but we want to hide the rest. So we go back to filters, and we find rest, and it's right there. So we do Control Shift H and hide it. You can also do the hiding and showing up here in the menus. And let's say you're composing and you look at that and you say, oh, I don't like that. Control Z and just keep pressing, and we're back to the original. And this section, I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to get rid of the bottom note. And I use the shortcut key for that. So now I only have the top note. And I know from looking at the original source material, I want intervals a third lower than all of those notes. Notice the interval options in the Note Input tab. You can put intervals above or below. You click on the pull down menu and it'll give you the options. And there they are. In addition to that, I'm going to Control Z and remove those. You can press Shift 3 and there they are. Control Z to undo that. If I press the 3 key, I get a third above. And let's look at this right through this section. But let's say we just want the piano part to go up. Highlight the section, type Control and up arrow, and everything's being put up an octave. One thing a lot of pianists like to do is to play the left hand, especially something like this, in octaves. So we can select all of the left hand. So we do Shift 8, and we have all the notes in octaves, an octave below. Let's say we want to add a little spice into this. So let's make that voice 2. Make it a quarter note. So let's add in a F sharp 8th note. So we have a couple ways. You can use the keypad, press the 8 key, and get the sharp symbol. And then press the F. And you have it in there that way. Or you can press the F and then go on and press the E. Let's make this E here. I highlighted the E flat and did alternate 2 to make it voice 2. We click on the note and come over here and hit the keypad. So another thing you can do is, as you have the note highlighted, press Shift, page up, and you get an F sharp. And let's change this from E flat to E natural. See if we like that. So let's move that back to F natural. See if this works. Yeah, we can do that. We'll talk about some more advanced aspects of note editing in the next video.